What's up, guys? It's Dan from Coin Trading, back at it again with another crypto market update. Today we've got Goatseus Maximus, Biconomy, and NPC, non-playable coin. These three cryptos have been pumping the most over the last 24 hours, and I'm sure you all want to know, why are they pumping? How high are they going to go? Where are these cryptos headed next? If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ping that notification bell. We're going to be covering the top 3 performing cryptos from Monday through Thursday, getting these videos out to you as quickly as we can so that you have relevant information. With that being said, do keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just my personal crypto trading strategy, my personal crypto analysis. What you see could be different, and if it is, guys, that's awesome. As I like to say, the more difference of opinion we have, the better traders, the better investors we're all going to become. So with that being said, guys, let's dive right into it. And of course, as you guys can tell, like, everything is pumping in the markets right now, and that's basically because literally as I'm filming this right now, Trump is scheduled. It looks like Trump is going to win the U.S. election. Not only that, but it looks like the House has, the Republicans have won the Senate. And it looks like the Republicans could even get a majority in the House. So I guess, like, not won the Senate, but get a majority in the Senate. This is significant, basically, guys, because if Trump wins the election, obviously that's bullish for crypto. But the main thing to watch is not so much who wins the presidential part. That's kind of like less important. The main thing to watch is the Senate and the House. If the Republicans win in the Senate and the House, this means it'll be really easy for positive crypto regulations to be approved in the U.S. And this means you're going to see all sorts of, just crazy stuff like, Solana ETF. Probably guaranteed. What else? Because the Congress would basically pass stuff to give clarity to crypto. So you'd see a lot more ETFs on altcoins. You're going to see probably lots of stuff around DeFi, lots of stuff around stablecoin payments, all this stuff that happens on chain that's currently really hard to do because they're trying to restrict it. You'll see banks working, integrating more with crypto, all this type of stuff. The list is endless, basically, guys. So that's the main thing that I'm watching, and that you should also be watching is okay, hooray, yeah, sure, Trump won, he's pro crypto, markets are pumping, that's great. But watch the Senate and the House. If there's a majority there, that's going to be the really bullish thing, I think. And I think that's going to be the thing that really causes crypto markets to go crazy. So with that being said, guys, of course, the first crypto here, we have Goatseus Maximus, which is, of course, lots of meme coins are pumping now. And in this case, we're seeing basically this target that we've been watching now, I think it's been like a week or almost 2 weeks now on Goatseus Maximus, this bull flag. And as you guys can see, Goatseus Maximus is finally at this resistance level at around 70 cents. It's kind of like, trying to break above that, playing around with that level. If it does get above that level, then I do think that 95-cent target is coming soon. For those of you who haven't been keeping up, of course, you just take the length of the flagpole, which again, the flagpole starts at 45 cents and goes up to 70 cents. Of course, the length there is 25 cents. So you take the flagpole length and you add it to the flagpole top, and you get the target of 95 cents. And I do think that that's probably going to come in the next day or two, assuming there's a clean Trump victory, and especially if there's a victory in the House and the Senate. You're going to see, merging of AI and crypto and all this crazy stuff, which is, of course, this Goatseus Maximus was originally, kind of pumped by an AI that was started by one of these crypto VC firms. So yeah, do keep an eye out on that. It's going to look, it looks, you can kind of tell, it looks like it's going to pump pretty bigly here, to use a Trump term there. But anyways, guys, moving on, of course, before we move on, I should say, I do need to mention that, of course, we have a Coin Bureau deals page down in the description. We have deals on Bybit, Blowfin, OKX, KuCoin, and Binance. Unfortunately, we only have, for the time being, just this up to $60,000 in rewards on Bybit. But of course, that'll help you out, even if you're, I know that you have to deposit a large amount of money and do a lot of trading to take advantage of that. But even if you just have a few $100s, even a couple $1,000s, you can get, whatever it is, $5, $20, $30, $50. I'm not sure in terms of the specifics there. You'll have to check that out. And yeah, guys, all these little things, they do help around the margins. You think well, getting an extra $5 or $20 or $50 on a sign up, or getting a 70% trading fee discount or whatever else, or even a 40% trading fee discount, you might think, well, that's not really going to help me much. That's not true, guys. If you're trading frequently, even if you're not trading in size, these deals will really help you out a lot. And it doesn't cost you a thing to take advantage of them. Literally just go down to the description, check out the deals page, click any of these sign up now buttons, and make an account. It's completely free. It's not going to cost you a thing. And yeah, guys, and it'll help you out, it'll help us out, and it'll help the exchange out. So it's a win-win-win. So now moving on to Biconomy. So of course, all these cryptos are pumping basically because of the election, as I just mentioned. But with Biconomy, what's really interesting is, of course, Biconomy works on account abstraction. So for those of you who aren't familiar, of course, right now, you have all these different chains in crypto. And for any of you who are active on chain, you have to constantly switch between chains and MetaMask, or switch between wallets like Phantom and MetaMask and all this stuff. And it's super annoying. It's not very user-friendly. And let's be real, most people are not going to learn how to do that. They're not going to go out of their way, to check the fees and to see if they have enough gas and all this type of stuff. So account abstraction is really going to be a big thing, especially if we do see positive crypto regulations passed and we see a lot more stuff happening on chain. these account abstraction cryptos such as Biconomy, I think are going to do extremely well. It's not something, it's not going to outperform, let's say, like, it's not going to outperform something like that has like a strong narrative, or even like some of these meme coins. Like, they're probably going to pump more than like Biconomy and these account abstraction cryptos. But be that as it may, guys, like, this is going to be a very kind of, in my opinion, a big narrative, especially among like institutional investors, among these large investors who are going to be able to get more exposure to crypto, if there are positive crypto regulations that are passed. So I do think that account abstraction cryptos could surprise to the upside in that sense. Again, I don't think they're going to do as well as like other cryptos and other narratives that are easier to understand, like a decentralized YouTube or decentralized Spotify or whatever, right? That's something that everyone can understand. Account abstraction is kind of hard to wrap your head around. But basically, it's kind of just like a front end. It's like a front end for all of crypto. That's the simplest way to explain it. It's like, if you want to interact with crypto on chain, you can use account abstraction, and then that leads to a future where we don't even have centralized exchanges anymore, and everything is done in a decentralized way, which would be really cool. But anyways, guys, so moving on to the chart here, this is where things get pretty interesting, because Biconomy is actually looking pretty good in terms of risk reward here. Around 2.4, risk reward ratio, potentially 35% to the upside, and around 15% to the downside if it does get rejected from this resistance level, which is very clearly at around 30 cents. And of course, using our heady target math, guys, we have a starting point of 20 cents, resistance of around 30 cents, and that gives us a difference of 10 cents, which we take the resistance, add it to the difference, and we get 40-cent target, which makes sense. If you zoom out a little bit here, you can see that 40 cents seems to be a key psychological level, and what's nice is that there doesn't seem to be too much resistance on the way up. So I don't expect in this case to see too much profit taking ahead of that 40-cent target. If anything, this is like one of these cryptos that looks like it could go slightly above, but it really depends, guys. Like, it's you never know. Whenever you see these targets, just keep in mind prices could either go just below that level or just above that level. It's rare that it just like hits that target like head on. You know what I mean? Because there's always going to be trading bots and other traders who see the same thing, and they're trying to push prices around, to mess with those people who are going long or short or whatever. So just do keep that in mind if you are trading Biconomy or any other crypto for that matter. And again, just do keep in mind also that Biconomy needs to get above this 30-cent resistance before we start getting too excited. Same like with Goatseus, you have to wait until it's up above that 70-cent level. So now, guys, moving on to NPC. So this is where things get a little bit funny. So of course, this is where it depends on how deep you want to go here. So of course, for those unfamiliar, like NPC stands for non-playable character. There's a really interesting kind of like lore behind like the meme and even like the specific character that's used there. But I'll give you guys kind of like a fun fact. So there was a study published. I can't remember when or like what the exact details are off the top of my head. But there was a study published where they basically tested to see how many people have like an inner monologue. Basically, like when you're like thinking about like, what am I going to do today? Like, what am I going to do tomorrow? And you're kind of like, basically like, I don't know if self-awareness is the right word to use, but you kind of like have conversations with yourself, let's say. And they did a study of like the general population, or I don't know if it was done specifically in university, but the key takeaway, guys, is that they found that most people actually don't have any inner monologue. So most people actually don't think like, this is what I'm going to do today, this is what I'm going to do tomorrow, these are the dreams that I have and whatever. Most people don't have that sense of reflection, at least according to that study, which you can search it up and look into the details in your own time. But basically, like, with the election going on now, I guess there's two different ways you could look at it. Is like, you could say, well, the election outcome is kind of like NPC in the sense that like everyone is like blindly voting Trump, or you could say it's NPC in the sense that everyone is expecting a Kamala victory and then it didn't go that way. So it's, I guess it's open to interpretation. That's what's really nice about some of these meme coins, is that they're not, political per se. It's just that it's very relevant to the current time, and you can impose your interpretation on it however you want, which is really cool. And the other thing though to keep in mind is you can see that NPC is trading a lot on these kind of like offshore exchanges and of course on Uniswap. So there could be a little bit of like manipulation there, like maybe some like whales kind of like laughing at people in the US by like pumping this crypto, or who knows. And speaking of interpretation, guys, of course, when it comes to interpretation, it's nice to like, interpret these memes, but just in terms of the charts, you just have to look at what the charts are telling you and just follow what's there. And in this case, further to my point about, I think that there's a little bit of manipulation here or something, and maybe some whale just like pumping it just like to have a laugh, basically. Which, when you have a lot of money, like that's the type of stuff that you do. You just like, just basically burn cash just for fun. And you can kind of see it here, because I don't think the upside is looking too good here. Yeah, like risk reward ratio of like around 2 or 2.3 or something, but upside of only maybe 20% if NPC keeps rallying, and the supports, like, you'd be looking at almost like a 9% decline. So it's like, it's not, of all the things that are pumping right now, like I'm sure that you're seeing things that are pumping, like 20%, 30%, like all over the place. NPC is not necessarily in terms of cryptos that are of a similar size. It's probably not like the best thing to be chasing, at least in my opinion. But in any case, guys, starting point of 0.26, I guess, like, or 2.6 cents, I should say, resistance of 3.3 cents, and of course the difference there is 0.007, and that gives us a resistance plus difference of a 4-cent target there. Yeah, guys, I do think that'll be hit probably in the next couple of days. What's really interesting is like this pattern that we see here is like a head and shoulders. So it should have been like a super bearish thing that just like completely collapsed, but instead it kind of like saw this recovery. And what's interesting, if we look back here, we can see a similar thing, that there was like a double top and it like kind of completely collapsed, but then it like suddenly saw a spike. So I think we're seeing a similar thing here where bearish pattern, and then, and it looks like it's just going to keep crashing, but then it spikes up. It's just like repeating like what happened back here, which is like bearish pattern, but then it just like suddenly spikes up. So it looks like we're going to see the same thing here. And you could even draw, like if you really want to be, extra, you can draw like a trend line here and say, yeah, like it's going to go somewhere around this range here, like between 4 cents and like 4.5 cents, right? You could draw the trend line like that, or even like bring it a little bit lower. And again, this is where, things come up for interpretations. Like, do you measure from the wicks? Do you measure from the candles? And I'll leave that up to the pros, like Aaron and Mariano. Those guys are the pros. I'm just here, like showing you guys the basics on these altcoins. On that note, guys, if you do want to look at something more fundamental, like some deep dives, like altcoin reviews of like promising small caps that like no one's talking about, but like could become big, the Coin Bureau Club is the place to go. It's the way to go. We do a weekly altcoin reviews of basically altcoins that our members vote on every single week. We do daily kind of like crypto insights, daily crypto market insights. I was doing some insights into what could happen with the U.S. election yesterday, and also a little bit today. So that was pretty intense, let's say. I'm doing daily technical analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum in the members Discord as well. And yeah, guys, and I do apologize if I'm a little bit more scatterbrained than usual today. As you can imagine, it's a pretty crazy day with this U.S. election going on here. And yeah, guys, like it's gonna be big, not just for crypto, but for the whole world. And who knows what the hell's gonna happen. Whether you're in the U.S. or elsewhere. It's funny, like everyone freaks out about these elections, but at the end of the day, like not many things changed. And but I do believe that in this case, when it comes to crypto specifically, I do think we're going to see changes. And I guess that kind of underscores the point of looking into these like smaller cap altcoins before they get big, because, if we do see positive crypto regulations in the US, imagine how many altcoins are going to be listing on Coinbase and all these bigger exchanges. The altcoins that we've been reviewing in the Coin Bureau Club, we've come across a few that we think will list on Coinbase in the future, and this is obviously the type of crypto info that you want to know. Yeah, guys, so be sure to check that out using the link in the description. And if you did make it this far, then smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ping the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.